Summer of change at Western Illinois University, this after issuing layoff notices last week to nearly 100 employees.
That's how administrators described it at a university assembly today. That's where they outlined the year ahead. As students are back on campus, WGEM's Dylan Smith brings us up to speed.
It's the start of a new school year. Students are back on campus, dancing into the fall semester. But leading up to their arrival was a whirlwind.
This change we experienced together this summer can be best characterized as loss.
Interim President Kristi Mindrup referring to the 89 employees who were given layoff notices this month and the 36 in July. But she says it's not taking away from the year at hand.
I met several, probably dozens of parents and students yesterday. Their focus was on move-in.
Earlier this summer, Mindrup said the administration was projecting between 5,500 to 6,000 students this year. As of yesterday, she says they've surpassed that, and the numbers surrounding the incoming student class are coming to light. That being freshmen, transfer students, grad students, and those coming back after initially leaving.
54% of this incoming class have told us that they are first generation freshmen, first generation.
The interim vice president for student success, Justin Shu, says the freshman class as of Thursday was over 600 students. This year, Mindrup says they have a renewed focus on retention and equity.
As far as what students see as change will be what they experience in their transition to college.
Mindrup was at the same podium almost 4 months to the day, saying financial stability was her goal upon being named interim president. The layoffs came after years of deficit spending, but one question remained.
Is it too soon to say going into next month's BOT meeting if the budget will in fact be balanced?
Our goal is to balance the budget.
That was Dylan Smith reporting there. Administrators say Macomb High School students are leading the way for this year's freshman class in terms of enrollment. Those numbers will be finalized on the 10th day of the semester. Classes officially start Monday.